Former deep cover operative Elias Thorne, haunted by a past mission, is forced out of retirement when his estranged daughter, Anya, is kidnapped by Acheron, the shadowy organization he believed he'd dismantled. Led by his cunning former protege, Sylvan, Acheron plans to trigger global destabilization through a network of sleeper agents. Elias, aided by an old tech-savvy ally, must confront his past and fight through a world of deception to save Anya and prevent a worldwide catastrophe.
Fuck are you? Jackie!
Sis!
Don't touch Monty! Don't touch him!
And now,
Don't! What fucking happened?
did you do all this? Trained you very well.
You have to be like this.
revolver. No.
Miracle. Didn't it mean something? You...
Me first. Okay?
The whistle of your...
Fuck are you? Jackie!
Sis!
Don't touch Monty! Don't touch him!
And now,
Don't! What fucking happened?
did you do all this?
Tell me.
Trained you very well.
You have to be like this.
Hey guys, today we are diving headfirst into the adrenaline-fueled, emotionally charged world of The Shadow Strays, a movie that truly grabbed me by the throat and wouldn't let go until the credits rolled. This one has everything: a grizzled hero, a global conspiracy, and enough explosions to make Michael Bay blush. We're going to break down every pulse-pounding moment, every strategic move, and every devastating revelation that makes this film a standout. I put a lot of work into these, so if you like what you see, a like and a subscribe is always appreciated. No worries if not. Our story opens not with a bang, but with a quiet, almost melancholic hum in a secluded cabin nestled deep within the Pacific Northwest. The morning mist hangs heavy, clinging to the ancient pines, and the only sounds are the distant cry of a hawk and the gentle crackle of a wood-burning stove. This is Elias Thorne's world now. We see him, a man whose face tells 1,000 stories without uttering a single word, carefully carving a small wooden bird. His hands, though calloused, move with a precision that hints at a past far more dangerous than this tranquil existence. He's listening to an old blues record, the melancholic notes a stark contrast to the crisp morning air. The camera lingers on his eyes, deep-set and weary, carrying the weight of years spent in the shadows, fighting battles no one else knew existed. He's got that classic grizzled hero look down pat, the kind of guy who probably has a secret pantry full of tactical gear he forgot to get rid of. His peace is shattered, as all good cinematic peace must be, by a jarring, insistent ring from an old satellite phone. It's a relic, not a smartphone, a clear indicator that Elias has tried to sever all ties with his former life. He hesitates, the wooden bird momentarily forgotten, its delicate wing poised in mid-carve. The ring persists, a discordant note in his symphony of solitude. He finally picks it up, a deep sigh escaping him before he even brings it to his ear. The voice on the other end is frantic, strained, filled with a primal terror that instantly sends a jolt through Elias. It's a woman, barely coherent, shouting something about Anya, his estranged daughter, before the line goes dead with a sudden sharp snap, like a twig breaking underfoot. The silence that follows is deafening, heavier than any noise. The wooden bird falls from his grasp, clattering softly onto the rough-hewn table. Anya. The name itself is a wound, a regret, a ghost that has haunted him for years. This is where our hero's quiet retirement officially ends, folks. Time to dust off the old Black Ops playbook. Elias moves with an efficiency that belies his years. The quiet man is gone, replaced by a ghost of his former self, a predator stirring from a long slumber. He doesn't panic. Panic is a luxury he can't afford. Instead, a cold, calculating resolve settles over his features. He retrieves a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards, because, of course, he does, revealing a meticulously organized cache of equipment. A silenced pistol, a combat knife with a wickedly sharp edge, several magazines, and a satellite communicator far more advanced than the antique he just used. The metallic clink of the pistol as he checks its action is the first true sound of violence in the film. He dresses in dark, practical clothing, his movements fluid and economical, each action purposeful. As he steps out of the cabin, the mist seems to part for him, revealing a bleak, gray sky. He's already in motion, a phantom seeking answers. His first stop is an old safe house, a relic from his past life, now a dusty shell in the heart of a forgotten industrial district, its windows boarded up, its brick exterior crumbling. The air inside is thick with the scent of damp concrete and stale memories. He works quickly, bypassing rusted locks with practiced ease, his fingers dancing over tumblers, the soft clicks audible in the oppressive silence. He accesses a hidden terminal, its screen flickering to life with a low hum, casting a pale, sickly glow on his grim face. The database, ancient but meticulously maintained, is a labyrinth of encrypted files and classified intel. He's searching for any mention of Acheron, the name that had been whispered on the phone before it cut out. Acheron, the organization he had spent years infiltrating and, so he thought, dismantling. It was a hydra, a multi-headed beast of shadow governments and corporate espionage, always regenerating. He sees old reports, faces of former colleagues, some alive, many dead, the memories flashing through his mind like brutal cuts. He filters the data, searching for recent activity, any anomaly that might suggest their resurgence. The keyboard clacks under his strong fingers, each stroke deliberate, searching for a phantom. He finds it, a subtle spike in encrypted communications, a ghost in the machine, originating from a server farm in Tokyo. Just a tiny blip, easily missed by less experienced eyes, but to Elias, it's a beacon. Acheron is back, and they have Anya. He knows he can't do this alone. There's only one person he trusts with this kind of ghost hunt, Zara. Zara, a brilliant hacker and tech specialist whose snark was only matched by her loyalty, provided you caught her on a good day. He tracks her to a dimly lit, graffiti-splattered hacker collective in the back alleys of London. The place hums with the low thrum of servers and the frantic clicking of keyboards, illuminated by the kaleidoscope of monitors. The air is thick with the scent of cheap coffee and stale pizza. Elias enters like a wraith, his presence an immediate, unsettling stillness in the chaotic environment. Zara, a whirlwind of brightly colored hair and piercings, is hunched over a bank of monitors, lines of code scrolling across her multiple screens like a digital waterfall. She initially dismisses him with a wave of her hand, grumbling about ancient history and people who disappear for a decade. But then she sees his face, the raw desperation etched in his eyes, and a flicker of concern, almost fear, crosses her features. When he utters Anya's name, her facade cracks. The casual indifference evaporates, replaced by a sharp, focused intensity. She remembers Anya, a bright, curious kid who used to bring them cookies. Zara, ever the pragmatist, immediately starts pulling up data, her fingers flying across the holographic interface, displaying a whirlwind of global surveillance feeds and encrypted network traffic. She's like a digital maestro, conducting an orchestra of information. The trail is faint, but she finds it. A series of sophisticated, deep-cover operations, almost imperceptible, linked to a shadowy financial conglomerate in Tokyo. The details she uncovers are chilling. Acheron isn't just back, they've evolved. They're using highly advanced psychotropic compounds, a new generation of neurointerface tech, to create a network of shadow strays, sleeper agents whose wills have been subtly bent, their loyalties reprogrammed. The sheer audacity of it is horrifying. Elias clenches his jaw. This isn't just about saving Anya anymore. This is about preventing a global destabilization unlike anything they've ever seen. The stakes have officially gone through the roof. Their first lead takes them to a high-rise office building in the heart of Tokyo's financial district, a gleaming monolith of glass and steel. The building hums with the sterile efficiency of corporate power. Elias and Zara operate as a seamless unit, a deadly ballet of infiltration. Zara, perched in a nearby cafe, a wireless earpiece discreetly tucked into her ear, feeds Elias real-time intel, navigating him through the building's intricate security systems. Her voice, calm and precise, is his lifeline. Elevator C, maintenance override initiated. You have 12 seconds, Elias. Don't dally. They're on a 5-minute patrol loop. He moves through the polished corridors, a phantom in the corporate jungle, his footsteps barely audible on the plush carpet. The soft whoosh of doors sliding open and closed, the distant murmur of voices, the rhythmic thump-thump of a janitorial machine are the only sounds. He evades laser grids with impossible agility, ducking and weaving, his body a shadow in the ambient light. He disarms motion sensors with surgical precision, the faint click of a switch barely registering. He reaches the executive suite, a fortress of reinforced glass and biometric locks. Inside, he finds not Anya, but a senior Akron operative, a man named Kaito, an ice-cold professional with eyes that betray no emotion. Kaito is surrounded by a small team of highly trained guards, all armed with suppressed firearms. The tension in the room is palpable, a thick, suffocating blanket. Elias bursts in, a blur of motion, the silenced pistol spitting fire. The first guard drops with a soft thud, a perfectly placed shot to the head. The other guards react instantly, their own weapons rising. The room erupts into a cacophony of suppressed gunfire, the sharp thump-thump of bullets ripping through the air, interspersed with the sickening thwack of impacts against various surfaces. Elias moves like water, dodging, weaving, using the environment to his advantage. He slides across the polished floor, taking cover behind an overturned desk, splinters flying as bullets chew into the wood. He pops up, fires 2 quick shots, drop at another guard. The metallic clang of an empty magazine hitting the floor is quickly followed by the snick of a fresh one being inserted. Kaito, surprisingly agile, draws a wicked-looking karambit knife, its curved blade glinting under the fluorescent lights. He's not just an administrator, he's a killer. Their close-quarters combat is a brutal dance of lethal efficiency. Kaito moves with a fluid, almost predatory grace, the knife a terrifying extension of his arm, slashing and jabbing with incredible speed. Elias, though older, matches him blow for blow, his training kicking in, muscle memory taking over. The air crackles with the swish of the knife, the thud of fists connecting with flesh, the ragged gasps of exertion. Elias blocks a devastating slash to his throat with his forearm, the impact jarring him, a sharp pain radiating up his arm. He retaliates with a rapid series of strikes, a knee to the gut, an elbow to the head, forcing Kaito back. They crash through a glass partition, the shattering glass exploding outwards like 1,000 tiny diamonds, adding a sharp, glittering punctuation to the violence. Elias finally disarms Kaito with a swift, brutal wristlock, the man's cry of pain echoing in the now quiet office. He interrogates Kaito with a chilling intensity, his voice a low growl, demanding Anya's location. Kaito, defiant even in defeat, spits out a cryptic clue before activating a hidden self-destruct mechanism within his dental implant, ending his own life rather than betraying Acheron further. The desperate click of the device is the last sound he makes. Elias is left with a dying man's final defiant gaze and a chilling realization. Acheron is playing for keeps, and they're willing to die for their cause. Not your average Tuesday, is it? The cryptic clue leads them to a derelict cargo ship harbored in a remote, fog-shrouded dockyard. The air is thick with the smell of brine and diesel, the rhythmic creak of the ship's old hull against the pier echoing in the oppressive silence. This is where things get really interesting, because apparently villains love rusty boats. Zara, working from a stolen van parked a safe distance away, hacks into the ship's manifest, her screen displaying rows of cryptic codes. "It's a shadow vessel, Elias," her voice crackles through his earpiece, tinged with urgency. "Officially decommissioned, but running black ops, loaded with, well, I can't quite decrypt it, but the energy signatures are off the charts, like we're building a small moon off the charts." Elias boards the ship under the cloak of darkness, the only sound the gentle lap of water against the hull. He moves like a phantom, navigating the labyrinthine corridors, his senses on high alert. The ship is eerily quiet, an unnerving silence that suggests danger lurks around every corner. Suddenly, a flash of movement. He ducks just as a blade whizzes past his head, embedding itself with a sharp thunk into the metal bulkhead. He whirls around, confronting a squad of Acheron enforcers, their faces obscured by tactical masks. Their movements are disturbingly synchronized, almost robotic. Elias unleashes a flurry of close-quarters combat, the crack of a punch, the grunt of effort, the sickening snap of bone echoing in the confined space. He disarms one operative, using their own weapon against them, sending a stream of bullets into another. The fight is brutal, fast-paced, a desperate struggle for survival in the dim, claustrophobic corridors. The metallic clang of weapons colliding, the harsh scrape of boots on rusted deck plating, all contribute to the chaotic symphony of violence. He manages to subdue them, leaving a trail of unconscious bodies in his wake. Deep within the ship's hold, illuminated by flickering emergency lights, Elias finds Anya. She's not restrained, not tied up, which immediately raises a red flag for any seasoned moviegoer. She's standing, seemingly unharmed, but her eyes are unsettlingly vacant, devoid of their usual spark. She's staring blankly at a complex holographic display showcasing an intricate global network, lines of light connecting major cities, pulsing ominously. A cold dread washes over Elias. "Anya," he whispers, his voice thick with a mix of relief and growing horror. She turns, and the blankness in her eyes is replaced by something colder, something alien. She speaks, but it's not her voice. It's a distorted echo, a chillingly calm, synthesized tone that sends shivers down Elias's spine. "Father, you're too late." Suddenly she attacks. Her movements are impossibly fast, unnaturally strong, a terrifying ballet of controlled violence. This isn't his daughter. This is a weapon, a shadow stray. The fight with Anya is heartbreaking and brutal. Elias, unwilling to hurt her, is on the defensive, blocking her powerful strikes, parrying her lightning-fast kicks. He hears the frustrated grunts of his own effort, the sharp whistle of her blows slicing through the air. She's using all the training he inadvertently gave her as a child, but amplified, weaponized. It's like fighting a ghost of his own past, twisted into something monstrous. He sees flashes of her old self in her eyes, fleeting moments of confusion before the cold programming takes over again. Zara, through the comms, is frantically trying to analyze the strange energy signatures emanating from Anya. "It's a neural imprint, Elias," she screams, her voice laced with desperation. "They've hijacked her frontal cortex. It's like a remote control, but far more invasive. You need to disable the primary control source." Before Elias can process this, Sylvan appears. Sylvan, his former protege, once a bright-eyed idealist, now a man consumed by a chilling ideology, his face scarred, his eyes burning with a zealotry that speaks of absolute conviction. He steps out of the shadows, a calm, almost serene smile playing on his lips, accompanied by several more Acheron operatives. He claps slowly, a mocking applause that echoes in the vast cargo hold. "Elias, you always were persistent, and predictably sentimental." Sylvan begins to monologue, explaining Acheron's true plan: to use the Shadow Strays, a global network of sleeper agents, to trigger a cascade of localized conflicts, destabilizing governments and economies, all leading to a controlled reset of global power. He believes humanity needs to be purged, reshaped, and he, of course, is the one to do it. Standard villain stuff, but with a creepy, calm delivery that makes it feel fresh. Elias is caught between his programmed daughter and his former friend. The sound of Sylvan's smug voice outlining his horrific vision only fuels Elias's rage. He realizes he can't save Anya by fighting her directly. He needs to disable the source of her control. With a desperate burst of speed, he breaks free from Anya's assault, dodging a powerful roundhouse kick that cracks the metal wall behind him, and charges towards a central console, glowing ominously with a complex array of lights. Sylvan's operatives react, opening fire. The ping of bullets ricocheting off the metal walls, the frantic shouts of the agents, the steady thump-thump of Anya's relentless pursuit. It's a symphony of chaos. Elias moves with a desperate, almost reckless abandon, taking cover behind stacked crates, the wood groaning and splintering under the impact of gunfire. He returns fire, his shots precise, taking down 2 operatives with clean headshots, the sickening thuds as they fall echoing in the hold. He reaches the console, pulling a device from his belt, a neural disruptor Zara had prepped as a long shot. He slams it into the console, the screen flickering wildly, emitting a high-pitched whine that pierces the air. Anya stumbles, clutching her head, a raw, pained cry escaping her lips, her programmed movements faltering. The vacuous look in her eyes slowly begins to clear, replaced by confusion, then recognition, then a terrible, dawning horror. She sees Elias, then Sylvan, then the chaos around them. The emotional weight of this moment is immense, the relief that his daughter is returning to him, mixed with the agonizing knowledge of what she has been forced to do. But the fight isn't over. Sylvan, enraged by the disruption of his plan, pulls out a sleek, futuristic energy pistol, its muzzle glowing with an ominous blue light. He opens fire, a concentrated beam of energy slicing through the air with a distinct whiz, missing Elias by inches, incinerating the console he had just disabled. Elias dives for cover, the heat from the blast scorching his hair. This is it, the final showdown, 1-on-1. The sound of the energy weapon discharging is a terrifying thrum, unlike anything a conventional firearm can produce. Elias uses the chaos of the ships shuddering from the energy blasts, the groaning metal, and the distant sounds of alarms now blaring as a diversion. He rolls, grabbing a discarded piece of pipe, turning it into an impromptu weapon. Sylvan is fast, incredibly agile, a blur of motion, his movements almost supernatural thanks to some sort of genetic augmentation he's clearly given himself. He truly believes himself to be the next step in human evolution. Their battle is a brutal, visceral affair, a clash of old-school grit against futuristic ruthlessness. The pipe connects with a sickening crack against Sylvan's arm, but he barely flinches, his enhanced body shrugging off the blow. He retaliates with a series of blindingly fast martial arts strikes, each one delivered with enough force to shatter bone. Elias blocks, parries, absorbs blows, his teeth gritted, his face a mask of pain and determination. The thud of a powerful kick to his chest sends him stumbling back, the air knocked from his lungs. He gasps for breath, his vision momentarily blurring. This is tougher than any video game boss battle, I'm telling you. He sees Anya, still disoriented but trying to stand, a surge of protective instinct coursing through him, giving him a renewed burst of adrenaline. He unleashes a desperate counterattack, a flurry of strikes, forcing Sylvan back, exploiting a momentary opening. He sees the faint scar above Sylvan's left eye, a mark from their last confrontation years ago, a reminder of their shared past. Elias finally tackles Sylvan, sending them both crashing through a glass barrier into the ship's control room. Alarms blare, red lights flash, painting the room in a hellish glow. The smash of glass, the metallic shriek of tearing metal, and the sudden drop in pressure as a hull breach indicator screams to life add to the high-stakes chaos. Sylvan tries to activate a failsafe, a final desperate attempt to detonate the remaining shadow strays globally. Elias, seeing the flashing countdown timer on the main screen, knows he has seconds. With a roar of effort, he lunges, grappling with Sylvan over the console. Their hands fight for control, fingers scrabbling over buttons. The metallic scrape of their struggle against the console, the heavy grunts of their exertion, fills the small room. Elias, drawing on every last ounce of strength, twists Sylvan's arm, slamming his hand down on the emergency shutdown button with a sickening thump just as the timer hits 0. A wave of silence, profound and absolute, washes over the ship. No global detonations, no catastrophic chaos. Sylvan, defeated but still defiant, snarls, "You only delayed the inevitable, Elias. Humanity is flawed. It will correct itself, with or without my guidance." Elias, breathing heavily, looks him dead in the eye. "Maybe so, but it'll be on its own terms, not yours." The sound of approaching sirens, faint but growing louder, signals the arrival of the authorities. Detective Miller, a no-nonsense cop who had been tracking Elias for his rogue actions, bursts onto the scene, weapon drawn, flanked by a tactical squad. Miller takes in the scene, the battered Elias, the recovering Anya, the defeated Sylvan, the destruction. The look on his face is a mix of confusion, anger, and a dawning understanding. He lowers his weapon slightly, seeing the bigger picture finally forming. Zara, having tracked the entire confrontation, appears at the dock, pulling up in a battered-up car, wearing a look of exhausted relief. She rushes to Anya, hugging her tightly, murmuring reassurances. Elias and Anya share a long, complicated look. No words are needed, but a silent apology, a promise of a future, passes between them. The emotional weight of their reunion, after all the trauma, is beautifully understated. Elias, seeing Anya safe, feels the adrenaline finally drain from his body, leaving him utterly spent. He quietly slips away amidst the confusion, a ghost retreating back into the shadows, leaving Miller and the authorities to clean up the mess. The last shot is of Elias walking away, his silhouette against the rising sun, the distant wail of sirens slowly fading behind him. He's not exactly riding off into the sunset, more like limping off into a much-needed nap, but you get the idea. And let's be honest, after all that, he's probably earned it. I mean, saving the world and fixing family drama? Talk about multitasking. The aftermath is a whirlwind of global cleanup. The remaining shadow strays, disoriented and confused, are slowly recovered and deprogrammed, the process painstakingly slow and emotionally taxing. Zara works tirelessly with international agencies, her tech skills invaluable in unraveling Acheron's intricate network, disabling their dormant sleeper cells and identifying their hidden assets. She's become a reluctant hero, complaining all the while about the endless bureaucracy and the lack of decent coffee, but her dedication is unwavering. Detective Miller, now fully aware of the true scope of Acheron's threat, becomes a key liaison between the shadowy world and official channels. He often finds himself looking for Elias, a silent recognition of the man who saved them all. But Elias remains elusive, a legend whispered in hushed tones within the intelligence community. He's like Batman, but with more emotional baggage and a worse coffee addiction. Anya undergoes intensive therapy, slowly piecing together the fractured memories, grappling with the horror of what she was forced to do. It's a long, arduous journey, but she's not alone. Zara is there, a fiercely protective older sister figure. And eventually, Elias returns, not to explain or apologize in grand gestures, but to simply be there. He sits with her, carves wooden birds in silence, offering a quiet, steady presence that speaks volumes more than any words. Their relationship is rebuilt brick by painful brick, not perfect, but real, forged in the crucible of shared trauma. The silence between them becomes comforting, a space for healing. Acheron, though crippled, is not entirely destroyed. Like a true cinematic villain organization, it's revealed that fragments remain, splinter cells waiting for an opportune moment to resurface. The threat lingers, a constant shadow, reminding everyone that the fight for humanity's future is never truly over. The world is safer, but not entirely safe. Elias, though retired, is still Elias. He still has his cabin, his blues music, and his wooden carvings. But now there's an unspoken understanding, a readiness to step back into the fray should the shadows deepen once more. He's no longer just a recluse, but a guardian, a sentinel. The movie ends with a shot of Anya, now more at peace, holding one of Elias's carved wooden birds, looking out at the same misty woods, a subtle smile gracing her lips, hinting at hope and resilience. The silence isn't empty anymore. It's filled with the promise of a future, hard-won and precious. As the echoes of the shadow strays fade, we're left with a profound sense of the human spirit's resilience in the face of overwhelming darkness. The journey of Elias Thorne, a man burdened by regret, who found redemption in the most harrowing circumstances, reminds us that even when all seems lost, courage can illuminate the path forward. It's a powerful testament to the unbreakable bonds of family, the enduring strength found in unexpected alliances, and the quiet dignity of choosing to fight for what's right, even when the world demands you simply give up. This film encourages us to look beyond the surface, to recognize the unseen battles fought by those who protect our fragile peace, and to remember that true strength lies not in avoiding the shadows, but in learning to straddle them. The Shadow Strays is a masterful blend of visceral action and deep emotional stakes, proving that a well-executed thriller can also be incredibly thoughtful. Its impact lies in its grounded portrayal of a hero's burden and the chillingly plausible threat it presents. Definitely a movie that stays with you long after the credits roll. What were your favorite action sequences, or which character arc resonated most with you? Let me know in the comments.